Hi, this is Pierre-Yves Delacote, working at Planet Technologies. We're going through a strange and tough experience with the coronavirus working from home. So I wanted to share some of this experience. Um, obvi- um, this experience that I'm going to share is my family experience. My wife is a teacher. My daughter is a teacher, and they had to ramp up really quickly on working from home. So it's pretty overwhelming for them. First, my wife is not tech savvy at all. She might say she hates technology sometimes, especially when she's rushed and she doesn't understand how to use it. My daughter is pretty tech savvy. She's okay with the technology. It doesn't scare her. So it's two different experiences I wanted to share. So both of them had to ramp up on several things at the same time. The first one was to ramp up on how to use a bunch of new technologies. Um, and second was how to teach remotely. What does it mean when you're not with the kids? And the third thing was to learn, and you don't really learn that. It's just as it is. It's to live without the hugs and kisses that is the most difficult for my wife and also for my daughter. They're missing a lot their kids and the social connection. So it's pretty hard, and so it's really can be really depressing. And I think um, maybe they're in a special position because they're a teacher and they have to teach from home. But I think that some of this experience um, might be worth to be shared because there are common patterns, I think, for everybody transitioning to work remote. So the first thing is they asked me to help them a little bit, and I took 5 minutes with my daughter to show her a few tricks on how to use Google Hangout because that's what they mainly using in the um, in the school system here, at least in North Carolina. And then when I showed her once, she was fine and she was ready to go and teach to the little kid. That's funny to see my daughter teaching. Actually, I don't see her. I hear her reading books to the kids and doing some activities. That's really funny. I've never had this experience before. I was not able to see my daughter teaching, so that's pretty interesting for me. Um, and for my wife, it took a little bit longer. So first, that was interesting because here Cisco is a big company in North Carolina, in Raleigh. So there's parents at the school who's working for Cisco. He has a high position there. So he made a he trained them on WebEx. But probably, and my wife came back and said WebEx is horrible. I don't want to use that. And I told her I know WebEx is not that bad. Um, I think probably the guy who show you the how to use WebEx was technical, so he didn't have the background of teaching the right way, make things simple rather. So he explained how WebEx can do what it can do. It can do tons of things. So my wife was overwhelmed with all this information she has to learn, and she didn't like it. So um, I showed them because they could use either WebEx or Google Hangout. So I took 30 minutes to walk through Google Hangout with her. And it was super simple, straightforward. I didn't know the product. I've never used Google Hangout before. Um, so I just maybe take a few minutes to be sure that I understood that it worked, and I let her practice, and I showed her a few steps, and I told her, now try it and invite some of your colleagues to join a live Google Hangout or Live Meet, Google Meet. I don't remember the name of it, and she did perfectly, and a colleague of her join her, and so this way she could pass our knowledge to our colleagues and make our colleagues feel reassured that it was easy to use. And we'll see where it goes, but I think now she's more comfortable using this technology. So this experience I wanted to share with you because I think it shows two things. The first one is that when you're in a stressful situation, you have to ramp up on a lot of things, especially around technology. For some people who are not really tech savvy, and there are a lot, it doesn't take a lot of time to make them feel reassured. And once you do that with one person in one area, then she can pass the message to and reassure their colleagues with her wordings, and they'll find IDs. So that's why I think there's different ways to help people transitioning to remote working. You can spend just a few minutes just to show the basics. That's what I did with my daughter, and maybe spend a little bit more time with one person that can then transmit our knowledge to the others, to the peers. So that's why I think in there's no one size fits all. Obviously, that's a message I am repeating over and over. But once again, it's what I live. It's what I experiment every day. Once again, with my family here, and so champions are really key. So if you can transmit, even if it's somebody who is not really tech savvy, you can really with a little effort help somebody to ramp up quickly on some essentials and reassure the person, make her practice, be with her when she's practicing, so she can see that it's not difficult, that she doesn't feel overwhelmed, and she will be positive about it, and she will be positive about it talking with her colleagues. So that's the role of a champion. It's to do so, it's to be positive about a change and transmit on one side the knowledge about the technology, how to use the technology, how it's beneficial, and also reassure the positivity, showing that it's not that difficult. It's helpful. So I think that's key to in the time of crisis where we have to work from home. Most of us have to work from home. So I was able to do that with my wife because I was in the same house near her. But you could do that even remotely. So you can ask the person to share her desktop, and then show her the first steps. You can even record that. I'm working with a customer who had a great idea today, and who told me that will be great to take a candid user and ask this candid user to follow some steps and help this candid person, to figure out how to follow the steps, and record that and share that with others, so people can see that it's not that difficult, and there's somebody to help for the first steps. So that's what I wanted to share, this experience, my family experience ramping up on technology. My daughter, who just had to know a few things, how to launch Google Ads, how to activate stuff, where was a good link and stuff like that, and my wife, who was a little bit scared at first because she's not tech savvy, and I took 30 minutes, not more, to show her the basic steps of how to make a live conference call, a live Google Hangout, and how to plan it. So I think this was a really good experience. I don't think it's enough. I think we should connect more with people around us, and I hope everybody's safe. Take care.